sunset here at the Big A. The days are getting shorter, but you know what? When they end like that, it's okay. It's early November here at Aqueduct. In fact, the second weekend of November, and we're glad you're with us on the Sunday edition of Aqueduct Insider. Richard Migliore, Jason Blewett, second floor clubhouse studios. Pretty nice day here at Aqueduct, Migs. And the crowds, they've been pretty big.
It was a really nice crowd today. I was out in the paddock. It was mild. The weather was good, very clear, and some really good racing, I thought, today. Some very competitive racing.
And some good announcing as well. John Embrial spending the next couple of days off. Johnny I's worked nonstop since Tom Durkin retired Labor Day weekend, so it was good to get a couple of days off for John Embrial. And Travis Stone, who's 30 years old, a native of Scroon Lake, filling in. He's Johnny I's backup throughout the winter. Did an excellent job all afternoon.
Yeah, I thought he did a terrific job. Very clean, very descriptive calls, and just carrying on that tradition. I think we have the best of the best in New York, and that goes for the announcers as well.
And for a guy like you that's been around a little longer than some of us, what does it say for the younger generation when you run into fans that are just hardcore racing fans and horse players and love the game?
Oh, it means everything, and I think that's the cloth that Travis Stone is cut from. Just a hardcore racing fan, somebody who fell in love with the game, followed his passion and his dream, and here he is calling races in New York. It's got to be a dream come true.
No, he's built up from Louisiana Downs to the summer down on the Jersey Shore at Monmouth Park to the Intertrack here at the Big A. But a heck of a job on a day. We got some turf races in. We ran 6 on the main, 3 on the turf, but nobody hit the pick 6, and that means Veterans Appreciation Day tomorrow. We got a double pick 6 carryover. A lot of cash up for grabs.
Yeah, on a Monday card, not a normal Monday card, $85,000 on carry. What other purpose do you need to come out? You got a carryover and a Monday card.
And it's a loaded card. There's some cheap races early on, but there's a few turf allowance races and some claimers that are really, and when I was looking at the races the day they were drawn, I'm like, man, these are like Belmont, Summer, Saratoga-esque kind of races at Aqueduct. So it's going to be a fun day tomorrow, 12:20, the first of 9, and again, that double carryover of $85,000 plus. But we got to get to today's card, my friend, and we do that without further ado. Travis Stone will take us through race number 7. It goes as the Sunday feature.
Tetra Drachma in mid-pack. Saratoga snacks toward the rail. Front is up close too. Sinatra on the far outside with North Star Boy up close as well. Bias the first time. Saratoga snacks down inside. Tetra Drachma. And on the outside is North Star Boy. These 3 gallop under the line for the first time. Sinatra backs out of there to be 4th, about 3 lengths off the lead. Front comes through toward the inside, now up into 4th. Farther back is Mutin and Sky Blazers at the back. So around the clubhouse turn now, and Saratoga Snacks opens up a 1.5 length lead from Tetra Drachma, who's running in 2nd and is on a hard hold, a 1.5 lengths behind for the backstretch run. North Star Boy on the outside creeps up into 3rd after a quarter in 24 1/5 seconds. Front is toward the inside, racing in 4th. Sinatra's running in 5th. Mutin's back in 6th, about 5 lengths off the lead. And then it's Sky Blazer. Sky Blazer about 8 or 9 lengths behind the pacemakers as they head for the far turn. Tetra Drachma is coming after Saratoga Snacks, and these two will go head-to-head onto the far turn run. North Star Boys wide trip continues onto the far turn, 3 wide out there. Front is down toward the inside, running in 4th. Sinatra's in 5th. Mutin's toward the inside in 6th and buried about 5 lengths to make up. Meanwhile, Sky Blazer started to make some progress, angling toward the outside with a quarter mile to go. They're off the turn. Saratoga Snacks, Tetra Drachma on the outside. North Star Boy is there too. Front is in behind. Mutin stopped in traffic. Far outside, Sky Blazer. Sinatra's trying to get going too. They're inside the final furlong. Saratoga Snacks still the leader. Sky Blazer and Mutin are coming hard. Here's Sky Blazer outside and Mutin between those two. Saratoga Snacks down toward the rail. Mutin down inside, puts the nose in front and edges clear late. Mutin the winner with a good ride there from Arad Ortiz Jr. over Sky Blazer, farther back Saratoga Snacks in front.
Wild finish here in race number 7, a close one. Mutin, the French bred who was previously purchased by $1 million by Shadwell, fell apart, makes his U.S. debut, winning one, and turns things around.
Yeah, off of a 10-month layoff, splits horses decisively mid-stretch. It looked like the 2-horse Sky Blazer was going to win, but this horse really bore down hard. And how many times are we going to see this for the next few months? The Irad Jose Ortiz or Jose Irad Ortiz exactas. We've already seen a bunch of them.
Well, in this case, it was Irad over Jose in 3 consecutive races. 6th through the 8th, and the Sunday feature goes to Kieran McLaughlin. And what does this say about Kieran McLaughlin and his crew based over at Belmont Park, that they take this horse who had fallen apart, clearly expectations off a big 2013 were high, to get him turned around?
Yeah, well, they just do an amazing job, and I think you use the right terminology there, team. He's got an incredible team from his brother Neil to Artie Magnuson and everybody in between. They do an incredible job. And to have this horse fit and ready to run this kind of race, and obviously Lasix back to the turf, because I think his form got muddied up a little bit with some of the synthetic races, but most of his turf races are pretty good.
And you snagged the post race, correct?
Yes, I did, with Kieran McLaughlin.
All right, let's do it.
Kieran Mouton was extremely impressive in his U.S. debut. It's been about 10 months. Has he trained like he was going to run like this?
He's trained very well. He does everything right. He's a beautiful horse, and he trains well. But I thought it was going to be a tough race because he won his first 4 in his heart. I was hoping he was an A other than or 2 other than. This was a wide-open allowance race, so he appears to be a stake horse, and we're happy to have him.
Yeah, this appeared to come up like a stake race, a pretty tough field. What will you do with him now? I assume he'd go to Florida.
Yes, we will. We'll carry on to Florida and try and keep him fresh and happy for the turf racing this winter and next year. He's a very nice horse.
Kieran, you've had such great success with Shadwell over the years. What does it mean to have the support of a stable like that for as many years as you've trained for them?
Oh, it's great. They're wonderful stable, wonderful people to deal with, and it's great that the support has continued throughout since I started training in 1993. So they're great owners and great stable in America and all around the world. So it's great to land on these type horses.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
He is one of the good guys, Kieran McLaughlin. You just really can't help but smile when he wins a race and he's giving a post race and talking. He's just a likable guy.
Yeah, likable all around. Not just a great trainer, but a great interview and a great person. Someone that certainly was very instrumental in a lot of my success during my career. I was fortunate to ride first call for him for a number of years. And a guy that puts a lot into the game. I mean, he cares about the game, and he puts so much into it that you can never begrudge him any of his successes.
Well, I'm looking forward to the next visit with Kieran's kids when they pack the studio and they keep Andy entertained. That'll be coming up at least a few times over the winter as we throw it back to Travis Stone. He sounded pretty good in race number 7, and we get back for race number 2.
Tis Jeweled Unsettled. And they're off. Class will tell toward the inside off to a good start. The court is also there. Far outside, Lismore is racing up. Violinist is up close. Trencita's in behind those early leaders as they come by us the first time. Down inside, it is a court in front. Violinist applying some pressure with Lismore on the far outside. They're second and third. Valienta comes on to be fourth. Trencita's running in fifth. Cover Up is down inside sixth. The Forks is pulled back from seventh. Tis Jeweled is eighth and toward the inside. Class will tell runs in ninth. Seeking is 10th, about 9 lengths off the lead into that first turn. Aranya second to last early, and Bishop's Pond is at the back. Around the clubhouse turn they go, and it is Accord up top with the lead. Violinist applying some pressure, seconded outside, and those two go 1-2 to the backstretch run. First quarter composed 24 and 4/5 seconds. Lismore's in the clear on the far outside, running in third, and Cover Up is covered up toward the inside fourth with just outside of a half mile to go. And that is Trencita sneaking up through the pack fifth and about to be fourth. Valienta's going to get stuck wide to the far turn run. Tis Jeweled in the thick of things. Seeking is toward the inside. Only 3 lengths to make up from there as they make the turn onto the far turn. Then it's the Forks near the back. Aranya, Bishop's Pond, and Class Will Tell's dropped out to trail. Onto the far turn. Still Accord in front. Violinist 2 wide on the far outside second. Lismore's putting in a 3 wide bid from third. Trencita's back running in fourth. Valienta's fifth and only 2.5 lengths behind. Tis Jeweled is picking it up. Cover Up is down toward the rail. The Forks and Seeking is in behind with about 9 lengths to make up at the top of the stretch. Down inside Accord, here's Lismore. Lismore takes off by the 8th pole. It opens up to lead by 2. Accord angles back outside, back inside now. Trencita's trying to get on track. Farther back, Valienta and Cover Up. They're inside the final 100 yards, and it is Lismore with a 2.5 length lead. Trencita fighting onto the wire, but Lismore is the winner. 2 lengths in the end. Trencita was second. Accord was third. Farther back, it was either Cover Up, Seeking, or Tis Jeweled.
Great filly by Tisnow. Lismore draws away powerfully in race 2.
Ran well first time going 7/8. We commented last night on the show. I like when they have that progression. A 7/8 race, now I'm on a 16th race. Good trip under Cornelio Velasquez, who's been riding terrific. And George Weaver gets a winner. He was red hot at Saratoga. Thought he kind of cooled off a little, but George seems to do all right year-round, doesn't he?
Yeah, maybe Belmont Fall was a bit quiet for a guy who was clearly firing on all cylinders upstate, but that's going to happen. I mean, horses, you're going to lose some in the claim box. Horses are going to run through conditions.
Yep.
Some of them are going to get hurt. Some of them are going to go off form, but he is reloaded and restocked, and a guy, just a smart guy who just seems to do well no matter what horse you're talking about. Turf, dirt, young, old, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can't pigeonhole George Weaver, although I do think he points for the Saratoga meet, and I think it's smart because when you win one in Saratoga, it's like winning two anywhere else.
Well, speaking of two, we've got more than two coming up a bit later in the show. We'll take a little rest on this Sunday edition of Aqueduct Insider. You're on MSG Plus, and the Mig and I are coming back in just a second. Back here at the Big A, this is an extended live racing weekend. Normally Sunday would be the farewell day. We'd call things dark here on Monday and Tuesday. Not the case this time around, as we are open for a 9-race card, a double pick 6 carryover. Tomorrow, Monday, November 10th, is Veterans Appreciation Day. Free admission to long shots for Nile Rewards members with the valid military ID and a free $2 wagering voucher with the military ID and a purchase of a post-parade and/or daily racing form. So some good stuff all around. And look, my dad's a Vietnam vet, served in 69 and 70. I'm proud of his service, and we're certainly hoping the veterans join us here tomorrow at Aqueduct.
You know, that's something I just learned about your dad yesterday, and, you know, we can't thank all the veterans enough for what they've given, the sacrifices they've made and what they've given to our country, and the freedoms and liberties that we are allowed because of that sacrifice. And there's really not enough we can do for them.
Let's get back to the second Sunday, the Mig Eye, and all of you. We're glad you're still with us on MSG Plus. It is race number 6. The same voice upstairs, the native of Scroon Lake. It is Travis Stone down the backside in Sunday 6th.
Those two out to the back of the pack. Got Winged is fast out of there. Got Winged takes the lead onto the main track. St. Joseph seconded outside. Dr. Keogh running up into third. Mr. Harlan's on a hard hold in behind them from fourth. Persuasive Devils away fifth and toward the inside. Heaven's Best is out in sixth. True Rate is seventh. Copernicus, and at the back is Swivel. Up the back stretch, and it is Got Winged who moves out to lead by 1 length for the far turn run. St. Joseph stalking the pace. Seconded outside. The first quarter's up in 22 and 4/5 seconds. Dr. Keogh 3 wide on the far outside. Persuasive Devil down at the rail. They're third and fourth, and smack dab between them is Mr. Harlan running in fifth, only about 3 lengths behind as they round the far turn. 4 more lengths back to Heaven's Best, who's starting to get going from the back of the pack. A lot of ground to make up, though. And then it's Swivel, followed by True Rate and Copernicus at the back. Racing for the top of the stretch, Got Winged is still the leader. St. Joseph 3/4 of a length behind with a quarter mile to go. St. Joseph is coming after Got Winged, who holds on to that lead off the turn. Persuasive Devil is back in third, coming down to the final furlong. Here comes St. Joseph coming after Got Winged. Got Winged down inside, fighting on, but St. Joseph has the upper hand with a 16th to go. Persuasive Devil toward the inside, third and about to be second. They're racing for the wire, and it is St. Joseph, a 2-length winner. Persuasive Devil, Got Winged, and Mr. Harlan.
Big 6-5 favorite, St. Joseph, the outside speed. And I think he shows, Mig, the difference between getting hooked inside as opposed to being the outside speed when he gets the maiden win right here.
Yeah, just able to get comfortable, get into a nice rhythm, come down the center of the track under Irad Ortiz, who had a terrific day. He just buzzed by the field.
Persuasive Devil never really lifted up a serious hoof, never really put in a serious bid, but did kind of clunk along for second down towards the inside. But different track, different month, same result. Chad Brown at 6-5 in the 7th race.
Chad Brown and another Irad Ortiz, Jose Ortiz exacta. I think people can make a living just boxing the brothers.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe that's a good strategy going into the long inner track meet. That was race 6. I just misspoke. We already did race number 7 with Kieran's horse, St. Joseph, breaking his maiden. Certainly a horse that had been a short price at his prior 3 races or prior 2 races. He gets the maiden diploma in his 3rd. Got a few other highlights on today's card, and we'll send it back to Travis Stone for the calls off the quarter pole in races 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9.
Place. They're off the turn. You take the cake with that move on the far turn has taken over down to the 8th pole. Bay Dawn is fighting on toward the rail. Openers back in 3rd, then farther back Tenacious Indeed and Bay Road 16th out. Bay Dawn back in front. Bay Dawn down inside to the lead. You take the cake, couldn't sustain the rally. Farther back it's Opener and Bay Road. Here's the wire. Bay Dawn in the opener. A 3-length winner. You take the cake was 2nd. Opener was 3rd, and Bay Road was 4th. Back in fifth, and the whip is out there. 4 lengths to make up, top of the lane. It is Vision of Mine with a 2-length lead. Here comes Riding with the Devil on the outside, coming after Vision of Mine. Wraith has moved into third, angling toward the outside with Live, Love, Laugh. Down to the final 16th. Vision of Mine's a leg-weary leader. Riding with the Devil on the outside has put a nose in front. Riding with the Devil overtakes Vision of Mine late. Wraith will be third. Live, Love, Laugh fourth. To cut the corner off the turn. Lyrical Miracle on the outside in second. They're off the turn into the stretch. Blue Collar Cats in front. Here comes Greg's four-wheeler on the far outside, and way out there, Campion Lane's getting into gear 2, and Jacobs here is fighting on as well. They're at the 8th pole. Jacobs here's got a short lead. Greg's four-wheeler. Lyrical Miracle down inside. Campion Lane trying to catch them late. These 4 stacked across the track. Final 50 yards. Campion Lane's in front. Here's the wire. Campion Lane got it. 3/4 of a length. 3-horse photo for second between Greg's four-wheeler pack just a bit. Still 5 lengths to make up, though, and less than a quarter mile to go. Bella Kateri takes charge off the turn. Opens up to lead by 2 down to the final furlong. Scataway on the outside coming after. Here comes Scataway now putting in a bid. Bella Kateri's trying to dig in and hold on. Noni Coney toward the inside, and Kimmy's Lucky Stars getting on track too. Running out of time, though. 50 yards left. Scataway on the outside. Bella Kateri at the rail. Kimmy's Lucky Star. Scataway got it. Beats out Bella Kateri to the wire. Give me 6 lengths to make up and a quarter mile to go. Frivolity off the turn with the lead. Miss Zippity Sluda down inside fighting on. And Guyana's third on the outside as they come for the final furlong. Miss Zippity Sluda puts a nose in front. Frivolity fighting on. And Guyana's getting on track on the far outside. Here comes Guyana far outside to take the lead. Miss Zippity Sluda right back at the inside. These two head to head to the wire. Miss Zippity Sluda got it. Miss Zippity Sluda up the inside to nail Guyana on the wire. The inside Permanent Campaign continues to charge. Third on the outside and about to be second. And coming after Sweet Lou is Permanent Campaign right on by. From the back of the pack, Elwaz Flying Gumper is 2 and Bigger Picture is as well. Down to the final 16th, and it's Permanent Campaign from off the pace. Permanent Campaign's going to win by 2.5 on the wire. Sweet Lou, Elwaz, and Bigger Picture.
Late scratch of the 8th, Campo Giovanni in the 9th race. Just keep that in mind. They got up to the 9th, in fact, with 3 covered in the pick 6 to 1, 5, and 11, but it was Permanent Campaign heating up for Rick Bauer Jr., who had a nice day yesterday. Just kind of sat the pocket, made the first run, and got the money beneath Jose Lascano.
Yeah, nice ride by Jose Lascano. And Rick Violet's barn is hitting on all cylinders. We saw him run 2 first-time starters that ran 1-2 yesterday. Comes back with a win today for a long time client, Klarovich stable, so it's good to see Rick Violet win a race for that particular customer who's kind of moved it around recently.
And the final leg of that pick 6 sequence, and Klarovich and Bill Lawrence has really got it spread around. They probably have a dozen or so trainers with horses under their care currently, but the opening leg of the pick 6 began at a big price as well with Campion Lane from off the pace. Ruben Silvera, 6 wins already on the main track.
I really have been so impressed with Ruben Silvera. He was here once before, didn't really think that much of him. I tell you what, he's a different rider right now. He's finishing extremely strong. He's doing a terrific job. I was speaking with his agent, Winston Hessop, who's doing a great job for him. Said he rode in Hong Kong for a while. Well, he's come back a different rider, and a rider we need to keep our eye on going into the winter, because the way he's riding, he's going to get a lot of support and should get a lot of good mounts.
How important? We've been here a week and a half or so. This is a meet a little over a week old. How important is it for a guy like him who struggled and really was way under the radar his initial foray into the New York jockey colony? How important is a quick start like this at this time of the year?
Well, it's hugely important because he's showing people he's serious. He wants to be here. He wants to work hard. He wants to win races. And he's doing the job. I mean, I would put him against anybody the last 1/8 of a mile right now. He fits in this colony very well, and he should really get a lot of support from the local trainers.
And forget about that old cliche that only short prices win here at Aqueduct. Permanent Campaign in the last, Campion Lane in the 4th, and an $85,000 pick 5 today, in which I'm thinking 2 people took it down for 50 cents. And that was a 50-cent payout for 85 Gs. We check out the rider standings. Cornelia Velasquez, you noted it earlier in the show. He's just in top 4. form.
He's in top form, adds another 3 wins today. Billy Castle putting him on live horses. He's delivering. And another guy who finishes so strong. Irad Ortiz has kind of gotten his legs going now, and he's certainly going to make it interesting. Junior Alvarado, another guy we've been talking about riding well in third right now.
Perhaps the biggest surprise, David Jacobson didn't win a race today. Can you believe it?
That is actually a big surprise. I mean, he's white hot. He's keeping a torrid pace, and I wouldn't expect him to have too many blanks this meeting.
How about the claims? We'll see if David was active in the claim box. In fact, if my memory's correct, there were quite a few shakes on the afternoon. In fact, 6 from Miss Zippity Sluda was the big drop down, and you know what? Lo and behold, look who got her and outshook 5 other people.
Well, he may not have wound up in the winner's circle, but he won a 6-way shake. So I wouldn't say David Jacobson didn't win something today, that's for sure. And Miss Zippity Sluda was very game inside to come up the rail and win the 8th.
And the Ramseys and Mike Maker jumping back in for Honor the Kitten, a horse they had and had promise with them at one time, maybe a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. They were back in for $35,000, and we're all in for our final segment with a Monday preview here at the Big A, so stay tuned. Pretty Sunday afternoon at Aqueduct. It looks like a little payback from Mother Nature with the wet, rough weather we had in the first week or so. But the turf is drying out. The main track was listed as fast today, and 85,000 plus reasons to watch the Monday card here tomorrow afternoon, and certainly many more than 85 Gs regarding that Aqueduct Fall Handicapping Challenge. It is coming up quickly, November 15th and 16th, a contest that annually sells out, a $400 buy-in, top 3 finishers out to the DRF NTRA National Handicapping Championship, and there is just no post-Breeders' Cup hangover in this game throughout the month of November.
No, we keep on rolling, and we'll roll right into Holiday Fest, and there is no break for racetrackers. We just show up and do it again. There's 9 races almost every day somewhere.
And some good Holiday Fest chit-chatter on the National Racing Report along with Andy Serling, who was sitting in between you and I on the show earlier today. You're going to want to tune into that Tuesday, 6 p.m. on MSG+. Just one day this week because we only have the one dark day. We're back at it Wednesday, but we do have that double carryover card to talk about. Veterans Appreciation Day. We dive right into it on one of those tough turf races I was talking about at the top of the show. It is race number 7, good old Grand Rapport. You, my friend, August of '09, broke this horse's maiden on the Saratoga main track.
I think he's one of the last horses that I actually won on that's still racing, and he's still racing in good form. Here he's going to get up and win by a nose. He came back after being claimed by Eddie Keneally to run in the bowl game and gets a little class relief, and I think a mile and a furlong's right up his alley. He should be pretty tough
He's
here.
just so honest. Now, Treasury Devils, well drawn for Rudy Rodriguez, and I think dangerous off his recent form.
Yeah, very dangerous off his recent form here. He dead heats, actually, for the win, but he's very game, doesn't want to be passed. Johnny Velasquez sticks. He gets that advantageous inside post, which on the inner track and the turf course here at Aqueduct is so important, and Treasury Devil should sit a good trip under Johnny Velasquez.
Where's Danny? Well, he's right here along with Kiss of Thunder back in late April. In fact, this was closing week of the spring meet at Aqueduct. He gets a rider change to Angel Arroyo. Will that help Where's Danny tomorrow?
Yeah, well, Angel Arroyo is a very aggressive rider. It's hard to ascertain where his form's at. He's kind of a couple races that I'm not thrilled with, and this was a long time ago. But Angel Arroyo is a good, strong journeyman who I think is going to make a nice impression this winter. I think Where's Danny, though, is going to have to find his A game again.
Does it help that potentially, at least going into Monday's card, that he's got to win over this turf course, which is a 7-furlong bull ring of sorts?
Yeah, well, I think it's important that horses have shown an affinity for this course because the turns are quite a bit tighter. You know, we come off of Belmont, wide sweeping turns. They get here, and they've got to be a much handier kind of horse. So if you see a horse with success here, I do think it's a plus on their side.
Well, there are no Aqueduct lines for our next horse as we fast forward race number 7 on Monday afternoon for Black Type, who was trying to get the Black Type in the Hill Prince. He is on the rail or on the hedge, red cap, kind of blue and white sleeves. He's starting to angle out, just out finished by a good field.
Outfinished and maybe never got into like the most comfortable position until too late. I thought he did kind of find his best foot late. This was a mile and 1/8 on soft ground against much tougher mile and 16th here with some class relief. I got to think he's going to be pretty tough.
Second time out in the country, picking up Erod Ortiz Jr., Ocala Jim. What a ride here. Closing day at Belmont Park. Pink cap, green blinkers, and watch him skim the hedge.
Yeah, tremendous ride from Jose Lezcano here. He loses Jose tomorrow. He gets Angel Arroyo, who we talked about, good rider, but I think Jose excels so much, particularly on the grass. And he's going to have to get this kind of trip, I think, to handle the likes of Black Type. But he is in good form, and if he can work out the right kind of trip.
He's a former chief claimer. David Donk has just done an outstanding job with him. Now we go to a couple of other New York breds, much like Ocala Jim and Storm and Iron Power on a midsummer's afternoon upstate with Storm getting the better of the gray on the lead.
Yeah, Iron Power's got a lot of speed. His mother, Iron Goddess, like to do her best work on the lead. He does get the inside post, which I think is a huge help. He's just going to have to go to the lead. All the rider, Jose Ortiz, has to do is open his hands. But Storm really came down the center of the track that day to get the money. Ran back in the Saranac. Well, this isn't the Saranac. This should be somewhat easier.
A Monday preview. It is rare, but it's happening right now with Maggie Wolfendahl and who to look for tomorrow afternoon.
Mig, Jay, thank you. And for today's Paddock Insider, we're going to take a look at the Monday card, race number 2. It's a New York bred maiden special weight for the 2-year-olds going the 1 mile and 1/16 distance on the turf. Carlos Martin sends out a second-time starter in number 9, Space Oddity, a son of Cosmonaut, whom I think are all turf horses as far as his progeny is concerned. And he is a full brother to Selenite, who is a stakes winner on the turf for Dave Donk. And the dam wasn't too bad on the green stuff either, as she went 2 for 9 in her career on the turf. And looking at my notes, I had written, tall, lanky, wants to go long on the turf. Well, he's getting to do that same exact thing here tomorrow. That's why I like Space Oddity for your Paddock Insider. Guys?
Thanks much, Maggie. Best of luck to your pick tomorrow afternoon as we look ahead to that 9-race card with the double carryover, 12:20 post, Veterans Appreciation Day. We hope everybody joins us out there. You and I will be on the air at 6 p.m., MSG Plus right here. And before you know it, although it was beautiful out today, we got 3 excellent turf races in. We'll be on the inner track before we all know it. And, I mean, looking at this colony as a whole, Mig, have you ever remembered at a time it was as young as it is now?
No, I really can't. I mean, you're going to have Cornelio Velasquez is going to be the elder statesman in the jocks room for the winter. Of course, unfortunately, Mike Luzzy won't be a part of that mix. But then it's a Junior Alvarado, and you've got kids in their 20s down into their teens and a lot of talent, but an extremely young colony, and they're all hungry, and they're all going to try to get themselves a foothold into this colony long-term over this winter. It should be a lot of fun to see these guys kind of scrap it out for a little supremacy.
And I'm sensing a potentially new edition of Quirks of the Course with you and I taking a little stroll around the inner track.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that very soon, too, before it actually gets too cold out there. But, no, yeah, we got to talk about the inner track because there are a lot of little quirks, a lot of little nuances to it, and things that might help people with their handicapping.
All right, live card tomorrow afternoon. Please join us. Great job as always, Richie. We'll catch up with you tomorrow on MSG Plus, along with all of you. Knock 'em dead at the windows, and we'll see you tomorrow night right on this show at 6 p.m. on MSG Plus.